Welcome back, everyone. As you probably guessed from the title of the video, we're going over a couple new optics from the folks over at Osight. If you guys are watching this video, the sale itself is live. They have a bunch of different optics on sale, but the two new ones are the ones we're going to talk about today. Full disclosure, obviously they sent these out for the video because I have them before the sale was even announced. This is the Osight, this is the XE with the AMRS, or the multi-reticle system. So basically on this one, you have a 2 MOA dot, 6 MOA dot, and then a 32 MOA outer circle with the dots, or a 32 MOA circle just by itself. So I'm guessing that's for shotguns, but I think most folks are either going to use one of the two dots, 6 MOA or 2 MOA, and then the circle, depending on your preference. I like a circle dot reticle. I know some folks don't. I personally do dig them though. However, basic features of it, of course, are going to be that it is fully enclosed, as you guys can see there. That is one of the big selling points of it, and that it has an RMR footprint. There's not a lot of optics out there that have the RMR footprint and have a fully enclosed LED type of system like this, and also have the ability to use standard screws, which this has. Additionally, I should note, these do come with a full set of screws. That's one thing Osight gets right. I am not mad about that at all. So over here on the left side of the optic, you do have our adjustment for your brightness. So it has night vision settings, of course, and then has a bunch of day settings on there. This thing does get nuclear bright. If you want it to be nuclear bright, it will get nuclear bright. There is that. And then of course, from the factory, it's going to ship with the auto on setting, meaning, and auto off, I suppose, depending on how you look at it. So after 3 minutes of inactivity, it will automatically shut itself off. That said, you can manually override it if you want it to never shut itself off. That is an option. Of course, that is going to impact your battery life. Battery, of course, comes over here on this little tray with the, I believe it's what, the 1632 battery. And then we have our windage and elevation adjustments as well. Then you have your built-in rear sight that you can actually leave up, or you can push down. You just push it down and it will go away. And if you want the rear sight to come back out, you push this button over here on the side. If I could actually get it while the camera is rolling, there you go. And that will give you your rear sight. So what that's good for is, at least in my opinion anyway, a lot of guns that are like this one that we're gonna get to here in just a second that don't have a rear sight when you mount an optic. So if that's the case, then it gives you that integral rear. As an option to have a backup sight, obviously on the Glock here, we do not need it, but the actual sight picture itself is pretty darn good. There is a very touch of a notch filter, but I can tell you pretty much compared to just about anything in its class with this battery life, which again is going to be up to 100,000 hours, but that obviously depends on what setting you have, the reticle, all those sorts of things. It'll certainly last a year, at least according to the folks over at Osight. I just got this one a little bit ago, so I can't vouch for that personally. That said, all of my previous ones, the battery life has lined up with what they've said. So there is that. But yeah, it looks pretty darn clear. I should be rolling in some photos that don't always do it justice because, of course, photos are through a lens filter, then through the optic itself, then through my editing computer, then through whatever device you guys are watching this on. So it's not always the best presentation of what it actually looks like in real life. One thing that is nice about this optic that I think a lot of folks aren't really going to pick up on is going to be the hood here, how it sort of flares out like that, which protects it if you're doing one-handed manipulations, things like that, and also provides sort of a hook, if that makes sense. When you're cycling it on a boot or a belt or something like that, it's less likely to slip off. So that is a cool feature of that particular optic. And this one here, the SE, if you guys have been following the channel, you guys will know the Osight SE, probably my favorite Osight optic to date. It is a fully enclosed optic, as you guys can see here as well. It has an integral rear sight. It has the RMSc footprint, and they've come in a few rather different flavors. They've also had the versions that had the top mounted tray on top with the USB-C battery. Of course, the current one has the side mounted tray. Again, 1632 battery, a ton of battery life. This one has the 6 MOA dot, which is kind of what I prefer right now. It has changed over the years. I used to kind of be around the 3. Now I'm up to about 6 to 8, maybe 5 as my preference, but this one has a 6 MOA dot. Notch filter, not bad at all. And of course, this one, like we mentioned earlier, when you take your rear sight off on this particular firearm, this is the Gear Sound Witness, then you don't have a rear sight. So that integral rear sight is a nice feature. We have done a ton of drop testing with these over the years as well. They hold up extremely well, as good as anything on the market, in my opinion, at least that I've tested to date. And obviously the price point is extremely attractive on these optics as well. You have our windage and elevation, just like the previous ones. That said, flathead. These windage and elevation adjustments are larger, so you're probably going to be able to get away with adjusting these with like a small flathead screwdriver. That said, with this one, you're probably going to want to use the Osight tool that does come with it. It does come with all the different screws as well. I dig that. It also has a picture on their website that tells you which screws to use for which guns with which sight. It's something that I say a lot, but all the different companies should do that, but Osight does it, so good on Osight for that. Again, right now, these are both on sale. This one is just over $200, and then we should have the price here of this guy on the screen. Of course, there will be a link down below in the video description if you guys are looking to pick them up. That is an affiliate link that does help support the channel, because on this particular channel that you guys are watching this on is completely demonetized. So we do appreciate you guys supporting the channel like that. If you guys have any questions about these optics, definitely let us know down below what they are. Additionally, on this one, because it came out in a green version earlier, if you guys have one of these, let us know what you think about that green one down below. Of course, now we have the new 6 MOA with the red version, but the green is also in stock if you guys are looking to check that out. And with that, that's all I got for you. Happy shopping, everyone. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.